As I mentioned before, my computer doesn't exactly have a microphone, so the easiest way to do the presentation is this way. I chose Mexico to expand into, and I used the company that I work for, Hanson Sign Companies. The first steps to global expansion are, of course, choosing the country you want to expand into, which in this case we have chose to expand into Mexico. And to be specific, we are going to enter into Guadalajara, Mexico, but that research was done and we chose that country for several reasons. The next step in global expansion is to hire an employee who knows the culture and also speaks the language. The third step is to begin a case study on the business development in that country currently. And the final step is to create a committee for expansion. Now, we've done quite a bit of research, and that research has shown up that Mexico is a good country to expand into. And for the time being, it allows us to still use our main plant here in New York. So the first thing I want to look at is creating a committee and who we will choose for the committee. Now, I'm the head of the committee, so I'm the first member. The second member of the committee is someone we're going to hire who speaks Spanish. And this employee has never been an employee of the company before. They are more aware of where we are headed in terms of the Mexican culture. The third member of the committee is an employee we already have on the sales team who is willing and also able to travel and potentially move into Mexico, at least to begin the business down there. And then the final employee is an employee who's going to research the development of business in Mexico. Now that we've done all our research, which isn't really pertinent to this project, so I'm not going to get into the research, but once we've researched, the 4 committee members will get together and we'll present this information in front of everybody. But once they're finished with their research, all 4 of us, for the beginning, will travel to Mexico for several business days to scope out the area, scope out available leases, and the plan is to find an office space available to open a satellite office. And this space we're leasing, ideally in the beginning, just needs to be somewhere that we can have 2 offices and a receptionist desk and access to a phone and Wi-Fi. The third part of this is developing the satellite office. We will start with an office of just 2 employees, which will be the Spanish-speaking employee we hired and the longtime sales employee of the company who is willing to travel to Mexico. These 2 will be responsible for sales, marketing, acting as the receptionist, and also communicating with the main plant here in New York. As I mentioned, we want to border the United States. We want to use a country that is able to ship in and out of the United States. Because for now, we'll still be manufacturing all of our products in the main plant, and we'll ship to wherever these companies are that use the Mexican satellite office. The next thing I want to look at is running the shop. The first step, of course, in running the shop is marketing the Mexican business culture. We have to know the culture, which is why we did a pretty large amount of research on business in Mexico. Then we need to begin to actually market and advertise and create a presence in that country, and really create a name for ourselves. Use our reputation we have here in the United States, improve our quality, and try to market to businesses and their signage needs in Mexico. And that goes along with drumming up business in that country and really creating a strong place in the market from the get-go. How to develop the new office. We're going to use some advertising to all of our current customers here in the United States to inform them of our global expansion. And to our closest customers, ask for referrals for companies that are down in Mexico and are in South America and based in that area. We'll spend quite a bit of marketing dollars on marketing efforts in Mexico, as that's really the only way to enter a new market, is to market yourself and make yourself known. And we're really going to try to bring in as many new customers at the new office as possible and really drive our quality and our products. What to do once we are established? Our ultimate goal is to bring in enough business to start manufacturing in that country. We can create new jobs and sales as the company gets larger down there, and we can also create jobs in manufacturing. And the idea eventually at some point is to get larger and get out of an office space and really get into a plant and buy our own property and begin to establish equity in the Mexican culture as well. The ultimate goal of all this is to enter the market of a new country, to increase the company's global abilities and capabilities, create more jobs in not only our country, but also in another country, and to really stifle their economy and ours. And really, the final goal is to become more culturally diverse as a company and as individual employees of that company. Thank you, and I hope you appreciated my little tidbit into Hansen Sign Company's dive into the Mexican culture.